Hey everyone, welcome. I am so glad you're here with us today. We are diving into this explainer to unpack something pretty mind-blowing from our source material, the universal human order. We're going to look at a structural blueprint for life that suggests something truly fascinating. It proposes that our personal values, what's going on inside our own heads, organically shape the entire world, literally the whole shebang. We're going to see exactly how our internal state ripples outward to affect absolutely everything around us.
So, right off the bat, let me throw this at you. Can inner peace actually stop global pollution? I know, it sounds totally out there, right? Like, how on earth does the micro level of a single person's mindset connect directly to macro, global environmental issues? Well, according to the framework we're unpacking today, not only are they connected, but that internal peace is the absolute prerequisite for solving those external problems.
Okay, let's take a quick look at our roadmap for today. We're covering 1. The universal human order. 2. Level 1, the individual. 3. Level 2, the family. 4. Level 3, the society. 5. Level 4, nature. And finally, 6. Building a world family.
Starting right off with Section 1, the universal human order.
Now, the source material uses this term Sarvabhauma Vyavastha, or the universal human order. And hey, at first glance, that definitely sounds like some dense academic jargon, doesn't it? But stick with me, because it's actually incredibly grounded. It's simply about the feeling of being intimately related to every single unit in existence, from other human beings to animals, plants, and the earth itself. It is an order based not on forced compliance, but on mutual fulfillment.
And this sequential cascade brilliantly illustrates our entire blueprint for today. It's a literal domino effect required for the universal human order. It has to start with right understanding in every individual. That naturally leads to prosperity in every family. When families are prosperous and secure, it creates fearlessness or deep trust in society. And a fearless, trusting society is finally capable of coexistence in nature. It's a chain reaction, and you absolutely cannot skip a step.
All right, let's zoom all the way in to the foundation. Section 2, Level 1, the individual.
What's super fascinating here is just how drastically different the real-world outcomes are. When we look at the current state of the individual without that right understanding, the source notes a sharp rise in tension, frustration, depression, and psychological disorders, basically internal chaos. But through value-based living, this gets fundamentally transformed. The individual achieves spontaneous joyfulness, deep peace, contentment, and unshakable self-confidence. The internal chaos is replaced by a really solid internal anchor.
So what does that internal anchor actually look like in practice? Well, the text highlights 3 natural human characteristics that just sort of unlock when we get this right: dhirata, virata, and udorata. Basically, perseverance, bravery, and generosity. But bravery here doesn't mean fighting an enemy. It means having the immense courage and commitment to help others achieve their own right understanding. And generosity means happily investing your own wealth and your own energy to help others. These values naturally surface when a person is internally aligned.
Moving up one level, we hit Section 3, Level 2, the family.
If we look around today at the family level, we're seeing the breaking apart of joint families, mistrust, generational conflict, and a lot of insecurity, right? But applying this value-based living, it totally flips the script. It leads to absolute mutual fulfillment and genuine prosperity. It actually allows for the sustenance of joint families and creates an environment of respect that doesn't care about your age, your gender, or how much money you make. It just becomes an environment of pure emotional security.
Now, this next point is honestly one of the most mind-bending takeaways from the source material. In a value-based reality, the family naturally replaces external law-enforcing bodies as the primary anchor of societal order. Just think about that for a second. When individuals are internally governed by right understanding and families are governed by mutual trust, the need for external policing just drastically diminishes. Order becomes organic, not something that has to be enforced from the outside.
Zooming out even further, let's look at Section 4, Level 3, the society.
Think about how a value-based society operates compared to what we're used to. Right now, society is struggling with terrorism, wars, communalism, and just an overarching sense of fear. But the practical result of following this blueprint is a transition to a state called abhaya, which literally means absolute fearlessness and mutual trust. In this state, we develop holistic systems for health, education, and justice, which eventually paves the way for genuine harmony between nations.
This quote really hits the nail on the head for level 3. Societal trust isn't a policy you can just vote into existence. It cannot be legislated. It organically blossoms only when individuals and families are internally aligned. The absence of fear in a whole society is entirely dependent on the presence of right understanding in the individual. It's a bottom-up transformation.
And now the widest lens of all. Section 5, Level 4, Nature.
Our current dynamic with nature, which, let's be honest, is mostly driven by unlimited wants and a lack of understanding, leads straight to global warming, resource depletion, and pollution. But a value-based interaction realizes that physical facilities are actually limited and should be produced in harmony with nature. The real-world result? True coexistence. We actually solve pollution, we ensure the Earth remains suited for sustenance, and we maintain the delicate balance of the seasons.
But to get there, we literally need a massive shift in perspective. The source material makes it super clear. We have got to drop our arrogant attitude towards nature. Think of it like this. Humanity is basically just an application running on nature's operating system. But we keep acting like we're the system administrators. We have to stop assuming that the goal of technological development is to exploit or gain victory over nature. Nature is already a self-sustaining, deeply interconnected system. Our role isn't to conquer it, but to figure out how to interact with it in mutually enriching ways.
Which brings us to our final destination. Section 6, Building a World Family.
The source maps this out as literal, sequential stepping stones of organization. It starts right there in your living room, the family. As families anchor themselves in right understanding, they connect to form a family cluster. Then, those clusters integrate into a village or community. Communities network into a village cluster, expanding outward and outward until we reach step 5, an undivided world family. It is a brilliant, systematic expansion of love and trust.
So, we've zoomed all the way out to the entire globe, but the blueprint insists we have to come right back to the beginning. The universal human order, a world completely free of fear and pollution, starts with the individual. It starts with you. So, I'm going to leave you with this final thought. What value will you live by today? Because your internal peace is the absolute very first step toward a harmonious world. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep exploring and keep learning.